Well, and we'll get to ITC. I think ITC is that big set of numbers, Mahima, that we're tracking this afternoon. Going to see the last of the major FMCG companies. Are they expected to be in line with what we've seen? Because now after HUL, Nestle, different business, of course, and different mix, but the expectations have come higher.
Definitely, revenue expectations are much higher. In fact, highest amongst the entire FMCG staple pack. The revenue is expected to grow around that 15% is what the Bloomberg analysts are suggesting. Good revenue growth, but margins are likely to be under pressure, and this is because of tobacco inflation plus the pressure in terms of FMCG as a segment as well as the paper business. Overall revenue growth of around 15%, EBITDA slight growth of around 2%, margins to come down to that 35% mark. Net profit to see a good growth of around 5%, which is in line with how FMCG has done so far. Cigarette volumes will drive the top line growth is something that analysts are expecting. Agribusiness will also aid top line. Marginal drag in terms of the paper business is expected. Volume growth in cigarette to be around 5 to 6%, and FMCG volume growth is set to be around 3 to 5%. Key things to watch out for should be, how much of a margin pressure is there because of tobacco inflation, how much of that is being transferred. So that is one thing. Plus the price hikes that have been taken this quarter, and how is the value versus volume growth faring, because that gap needs to narrow in order to see some kind of expansion in terms of margins. And lastly, demand outlook and competitive intensity. So this is with respect to ITC. Avinash, any view here? Do you expect the results to be on a good footing?
Yeah, I think ITC should put up a reasonably good show. My sense is that the volume growth of 6-7% plus hopefully the other components of the business look to be quite interesting. In fact, I believe the rural market, up market, the demand from the rural market is a key driver for ITC. Hopefully, this could also be a key driver for the company. I think markets would look at the profit growth, percentage compared to the previous quarter, that is the March quarter as well as the previous year quarter. But I think in terms of margins, I think even if they maintain the margins, I believe the traction would definitely be healthy. I think the second quarter could be equally stronger quarter, but I think numbers, if at all, would please the market is the volume growth. If they show 7-8% volume growth for the cigarette business and all the other businesses also record a good strong volume and value growth, that would definitely be encouraging. And of course, then what kind of management commentary the management speaks post the Q1 call.
Okay. So ITC, big expectations there. Amar, technical view, if at all?
Yeah, I would say that if you look at ITC seems to form a bottom somewhere, a very strong support around the 400, 410 levels, and the last couple of days it has moved up. So, but on the upside, 425, 430, that's a key zone of resistance. If that is taken out, then we could witness some upside rally in ITC, because otherwise the stock is purely in a trading range between 400 and 440 on the upside.
Okay. All right. So that's the expectation on ITC. Just want